we all kind of know that Japan is one of the well organized, the most developed, and safest countries around the world. And I've been living over here for more than 6 years now. But one question that I always get from my foreigner friends who are thinking about coming to Japan, thinking about working in Japan, or maybe living in Japan is that, is Japan difficult to live in for foreigners? You know, with a lot of commercial going on the internet, these are questions that people always ask me. So I'm going to answer that particular question in this video from my own experience and my own background of living over here in Japan. First of all, like, some of the things that I heard from people about why Japan is going to be difficult for foreigners is you need perfect Japanese to be able to live in Japan, or maybe Japanese people do not like foreigners, or maybe it's hard for foreigners to succeed in Japan. And in my opinion, I think these things are not the case. At least that's what I think. And what exactly is the case for me? I would say that the most difficult part about living in Japan for a foreigner is going to be the mental aspect. The mental aspect is going to be the most difficult part of living in Japan. Like, what do I mean by mental aspect? I'm talking about integration, like your mindset or living in your home country is going to be different from your mindset of living in Japan. So you got to be able to disconnect from what you know and kind of like connect with what is over here. And what I mean by that is that, for example, in your home country, I don't know where you're from, but like simple things like maybe a city office visit over here, or hospital visit, or some minor documents, it's going to cost you an entire morning or your entire afternoon. Sometimes in most cases, like, people have to take an entire day just to do one aspect. You know, Japan is very organized, and one of the side effects, I don't want to say side effects, one of the thing is with being well organized is like things takes a lot of time to be done in order. For things to be orderly, it takes a lot of time. So for simple documents over here, you're gonna be taking a lot of time, and most people, they're not used to this. So that's one thing to look out for. And number two, there is also the aspect of housing. Housing is a very important like aspect of living anywhere. Like, in Japan, it's even more important because nowadays many Japanese landlords are really skeptical about lending their apartments to foreigners, and it's because of some foreigners did not pay their rent on time. Some foreigners did not rent the apartment for the amount of time that was specified in the contract. Like over here in the contract, most contracts like 1 year or 2 year, and if you default on a contract, you have to pay 1 month. But these are all like formalities for some foreigners when they are signing contracts. You know, they rent an apartment for maybe 2 months, 3 months, and then they leave, which is going to cost the landlord more money to kind of like refurbish the apartment for the next renter. So these are some of the reasons that foreigners have major problem in leasing apartment over here in Japan. It's because of bad experiences that landlords have had with other foreigners. So this is something that you should also be expecting to face. This is where some of your difficulty might come from. And also importantly, there is the social aspect of Japan. So this is important because you have to disconnect from your mindset that you knew before and connect to the Japanese mindset. Because like over here, what I notice is that people are now very people are close, people are polite, people are nice, but people mind their business. Over here, people really mind their business. They are not too invested into the lives of other people. Like, one experience with me in the early stages of me living here, like random checkup, like sometimes I would take a phone randomly check on my friends who are like Japanese, and like, hey man, how you doing? Like, you good? Everything's good today? How was your day? And the person will ask me like, why did you call? I'm like, just to check up on you. And that wasn't normal. Like for me, it's really normal from where I'm from, but for him, it wasn't normal. Like, someone just call you just to ask you how your day was, and nothing major to call you for. So that was a shock, at least for me. So what I recommend is that in the early stages, you kind of like you should become friends with people of your mindset, people who are like you. When I mean like you, probably people who from countries that you're from, people who have similar culture as you. In the beginning, you and those people are going to be able to connect, and through them you're going to meet more local people. You're going to adjust to Japanese society more as a foreigner. So that's my own recommendation. Like, and also there is the aspect that you're going to be noticed. Like, some foreigners come over here in Japan, from the moment they land over here, they feel welcome, why other foreigners have to prove themselves, because nowadays there are a lot of negative things that are happening in Japan, and some negative things are being done by foreigners. So you have to kind of like show you're not like every other foreigners who are doing negative things. So it's like, but some, not always, but some people feel like they have to prove themselves as a good foreigner in Japan. So that's something to look out for also. However, to every bad side there is the good side, and I think the good side kind of outweigh the bad side in this case, at least in Japan, because like Japan offers you a lot of great things, guys. Japan offers you stability. Japan offers you structure. Japan offers you safety. You know, if you come here willing to learn, to adapt, and you are patient, you can build a really comfortable life for yourself. You can build a really good life for yourself. However, if you come to Japan and you're hoping that Japan is going to change you, I think you're going to face many difficulties. So the best thing for you is to still grounded in who you are, you know, to adapt to the system, but stay grounded in who you are as a person, what you want to achieve, and do those little things that will help you to make your life easy. You know, I told you that having perfect Japanese is not needed to kind of live in Japan, but it is important to also like be willing to learn the language, learn things that are gonna help you in excelling higher into your life over here in Japan. So that is something that I really want to talk about. I'm just over this Saturday morning, so I would like to hear your comments, or if you're planning to move to Japan and you're thinking about it, whatever question you have, leave it in the comment section below. And if you're already in Japan, if you have an experience, you can leave a comment in the comment section below. So in the next video, I'm going to be talking about universities and how important it is to choose your university in Japan, and how the university choose is going to play out into what job you get, and it's also going to play into if you want to get a Japanese citizenship in the long term, or also permanent residence in the long term, how choosing the right Japanese society, the Japanese university, sorry, can help you reach that goal quicker and faster. So if you're interested, stay tuned, like and subscribe. I really appreciate you for watching. Thank you for your time. I see you in the next video.